Today we'll be making a 3D tissue paper flower, going one step at a time. If at any step you are ahead of your classmates, there should at some point become a piece of tape on your table. On this tape with a Sharpie, nice and neatly, you will write your name and your class code. Your class code is your number of your grade that you're in, plus the first letter of your teacher's last name. So let's pretend that I was in Mrs. Roser's class at Center Hall, and in third grade I would do 3R as my class code. But this will be different depending on what class you're in. Now, when we're folding our paper, the first thing we need to do is get our materials. You'll need 1 piece of pipe cleaner and 4 pieces of tissue paper. The tissue paper sticks together, so you want to make sure you only have the correct amount. If you got too many pieces, please put it back so someone else can use it. Then I want to make them into as neat of a stack as I can. If it doesn't line up perfectly, that's okay. To start our flower, we're going to want to do an accordion fold, or a fold that looks like a fan. I'm going to show you first on this piece of construction paper. What I want to do is I want to be folding the bottom edge, creasing it really well. The tighter your crease is, the better it will hold the layers of tissue paper together when we fold the tissue paper. After I fold a little bit up, I'm going to flip it over to the other side, just flipping back and forth like turning the page of a book, and then fold up again. Then turn the page like a book, fold up again. Flip, fold up. And I'm going to do that until I run out of room and can't anymore. If the last section doesn't reach the same amount as the other sections, that's okay. Here's how to check and make sure it's right. When you look at it from the side, it should look like a zigzag. That's what we want it to look like, but we want to keep it nice and flat and compressed. If you look at it from the side and it looks like it's a circle or a roll or a spiral, that's not going to work. It has to be like a zigzag for it to work. So what you would have to do in this case is unroll it, and then we're going to try again. I would try rolling it the opposite direction, because if you try to fold it back and forth where all these folds already are, it gets confusing. So I would start at the bottom, going the other way this time, fold and press down really hard, then we flip it all the way till we get to the top, and it does look like a zigzag. Let's do that with the tissue paper. Now there's 4 layers of tissue paper here, so I have to be extra careful when I'm folding. I'm going to hold them together and fold just a little bit up at a time, trying to be as neat and careful as I can. With one hand I'm holding it, the other hand I'm really creasing it and pressing it closed with a finger and with a fingernail. Then I'm going to flip it over like I was turning the page of a book and fold this bottom section up again. Creasing carefully, flip, sideways, fold, up, flip, sideways, fold, up. You'll notice the paper gets shorter as I do this. That's good. Flip sideways one last time, fold up. Or the last part, if it's easier, you could fold down, if that makes it easier to grab onto. Okay, now I have to check it to make sure it looks like a zigzag. I'm going to pinch in the middle and look at it from the side. Yep, mine looks like a zigzag, and I can test it by going like that, and it starts to spread out. We don't want it to spread out yet, but we will eventually. Now, I'm going to take my pipe cleaner and I'm going to bend it in half. Like that. It's in half. Now I want to line up my pipe cleaner that's in half with the middle of my flower, or what will become my flower. Then I'm going to hold it down and pinch it, and I've got these 2 little ends. I want to twist them together. So one hand is holding and pinching so it's all lined up. The other hand is going to take it, and we're going to grab right near the bottom. Twist once, twist twice, keep twisting until it's really secure and it's not flopping around. I'm going to stop here and check your work so far. Now, from this point, the part where we have these extra pipe cleaners is eventually going to become the base of our flower, and the color we see on top is going to become the top of our flower. The next part, I need to use 2 hands to make my life easier. I want to start by opening up the sides of my flower like a fan, gently. I don't want to tear it. It might not stay open because of our folding. It might want to squish back in right away. But the next part will help keep it open. Once I've opened up both sides, I'm going to use my 2 hands, one on the bottom of my flower, one on the top, and I'm going to use my fingers to carefully separate the top layer of tissue paper. And I'm going to slowly pull it towards the middle, separating it from the other petals. It looks like this right now. It doesn't look like a flower yet, but we need to be patient and trust the process. I'm going to do that for the other light blue side too. Your color might be different in the middle though. I'm just describing the color in this flower. Now I have a lot of practice, so if it takes you longer to do this, that's okay. There we go. I'm realizing right now I made a mistake in my video. I forgot to tell you the step about making the petals. When our flower is still flat like this, let's pretend I hadn't separated that top layer yet, we can use a pair of scissors and very carefully round out the edge by cutting through all of these layers of tissue paper. I want to cut off just a tiny little bit and throw it away. That round edge is going to look more like a petal. But if you don't want to do this step, that's okay. So I'm cutting slowly. You would use safety scissors. I'm using adult size scissors. All these little pieces will go in the trash. Now you can see when I open it, it looks even more like petals. Then I'm going to do the same thing I did with the light blue layer. I'm going to grab the next layer and gently pull it up to the top, separating it up. Using 2 hands, one hand on the bottom holding the lower petals, in this case my dark blue and my pink, one hand on the middle, slowly pulling it up. Then I'll do the 3rd layer. The further you pulled up the first layer, the easier these steps will be. So that's why we want to go slowly and take our time. And the last layer, I'm using my hands to kind of shape it to be round like a flower. Now I need to do this side. I'm also holding the stem. Sometimes as I get to these lower petals. And then I can gently squish it, and I've got a flower. Last thing is to find my name tape. I'm going to gently pull it up and put it on the bottom of my flower very carefully. And then you're done.